So, discuss the social structure under the Shatavahanas, the society or the social structure under the Shatavahanas. The longest rule of 400 years under the Shatavahanas, it assumed an important place in the history of the Andhra Desha. The longest rule, it assumed an important place in the history of Andhra Desha. The social formation, its developments, the customs and the traditions still continue to affect the social history of Andhra Pradesh in subsequent chapters of the Andhra history. This continue to affect the society with the social formations, its developments, its customs and the traditions continue to affect the society of the Andhras in the subsequent chapters of the Andhra history. Then the main source for the study of the Shatavahana society was the Gada Saptasati by Hala and the Nasik inscription of Gautami Balashri, the Naneghat inscription of Naganika, and the writings of Greek historian Strabo. So this four literary sources, they give us literary and the archaeological sources, they give us main sources for the study of the Shatavahana society. They are Gada Saptasati of the Hala, Nasik inscription of Gautami Balashri, Naneghat inscription of Naganika, and the writings of Indo-Greek historian Strabo. At the outset, the society under the Shatavahanas, it remained as matriarchal. It remained as matriarchal. This was testified by the fact that no Shatavahana king disclosed his father's name, and according to Gada Saptasati, women had the right to property. Two things. At the outset, the society of the Shatavahanas, it remained as matriarchal. This was testified by the fact that no Shatavahana king, he disclosed his father's name, and according to Gada Saptasati of the Hala, the women had right to property. The very fact that women made donations and they issued inscriptions shows the prominent place enjoyed by women in the society. The very fact that women made donations and they issued inscriptions. Women ante Gautami Balashri and Gautami Putra Shatakarni's wife Vashishta, they had given donations to Buddhists and the Vedic Brahmanas. They gave donations to them and they issued inscriptions. Shows the prominent place enjoyed by women in the society. Then regarding the caste system, it was not well established. The caste system was not well established. Okay, the Chaturvarna system was not mentioned by either Hala or on the inscriptions. The Chaturvarna system, the four Varnas, it was not mentioned either by Hala or on the inscriptions. Further, we find that the difference between the caste and the class was not well established. Complete caste system is not well established in చెప్తున్నారు. The Chaturvarna system was not mentioned either in the Hala's Gada Saptasati or on the inscriptions also it is not mentioned. Further, we find that there is a difference between the caste and the class was not well established. Then, as per the Amaravati inscriptions of Dhimika, Amaravati inscription of Dhimika, it says that within his family, Dhimika ane atanu who gave the Amaravati inscription, it says that within his family there were malt of all the professions. There were men. It says that within his family there were men of all the professions. So as per the Amaravati inscription of Dhimika, he says that in his family there were men of all the professions. As caste was not well established, the society witnessed the formation of maximum number of jatis. That is, jatis came out of different professions. As the caste was not well established, the society, it witnessed formation of maximum number of jati, that is professions. The Ashtadasa professions was formed for the first time. As the caste system was not well established and infiltration of the foreign races took place, like Shakas, Shakas and Indo-Greeks, all of them they tried to, and Pahalwas. Okay, okay, these were the foreign races. Will foreign races ఇంతమంది ఉన్న the Shakas they had infiltrated into the caste system అనమాట, our Indian caste system. As the caste system was not well established, the infiltration of the foreign races like Shakas took place, and the society often it experienced instability. The society often experienced the instability. Perhaps this is why Gautamiputra Shatakarni took the titles Eka Brahmana and Dvija Kula Vardhana. This is why Gautamiputra Shatakarni took the titles Eka Brahmana and Dvija Kula Vardhana in his attempt to set right the social order. In his attempt to set right the social order. And some points about this from the all-in-one was, during the reign of Shatavahanas, Vedic faith it gained ascendancy, and the four varna system of the Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya and Shudra also had become rigid. Maybe this is in the later Shatavahanas. Though Shatavahana kings they patronized Vedic faith, their queens they championed Buddhism also. Both the religions, Buddhism and the Vedic religion, they coexisted in harmony, and the relations were based only on the tolerance. The foreign invaders like the Shakas and Yavanas, they settled in India and they embraced either Buddhism or Hinduism. They adapted Indian names and customs, and they were absorbed into the Hindu fold. They adopted Indian names and Indian customs, and they were absorbed into the Hindu fold. They were looked upon as the Kshatriyas and local ruling dynasties that entered into matrimonial alliances with them. వాళ్ళు అక్కడి నుంచి వచ్చినా కూడా యాక్చువల్లీ మన ఇండియన్ రూలర్స్ని క్షత్రియాస్ అంటాం, వీళ్ళు అక్కడ గ్రీక్ నుంచి అలా వచ్చారు. బికాస్ దే వర్ కింగ్స్, దే వర్ లుక్డ్ అపాన్ as క్షత్రియాస్ అండ్ లోకల్ రూలింగ్ డైనాసిటీస్. దే ఎంటర్డ్ ఇంటూ మ్యాట్రిమోనియల్ అలయన్సెస్ విత్ ది శాకాస్ అండ్ ది యవనాస్. Then however Gautamiputra Shatakarni he abhorred the he did not want the assimilation of the foreign tribes into the Hindu fold, and he tried to stop the Varna Sankarana. Then Nasik Prasisti recorded by his mother Balashri claims that he destroyed the Shakas, that is Scythians, the Yavanas, Indo-Greeks and the Pahalvas, the Parthians, and in spite of all his activities, Gautamiputra Shatakarni found the time for the pursuit. In spite of all these wars and all, he found the time for the pursuit of the Trivarga, the three aims of his life. In spite of all this, he found the time for Trivarga of the three aims for his wife. The attempts of Gautamiputra Shatakarni to stop the Varna Sankarana produced a mixed results. That is, the caste system lost its flexibility. It lost its flexibility and it became very much rigid. But the assimilation of the foreign tribes into the Hindu fold, it went on unabated. So, but these guys, these people, it could not be stopped. Assimilation of foreign tribes into Hindu fold couldn't be stopped. Shivashri Shatakarni, one of the sons of Gautamiputra Shatakarni, I don't know how true is it. Let me check again. Okay, one of the sons of Gautamiputra Shatakarni, either Shivashri or Pulamavi, they married daughter of the Shaka king Rudradhaman. So along with the four class system, the society was also divided into four classes, that is based on their profession of the people. Four classes get divided చేశారు, who were named according to their profession. That is who were named according to the profession. Then Halika అంటే cultivators or farmers, Setti అంటే merchant and Vachaka అంటే carpenter, కమ్మరోళ్ళు అంటే బ్లాక్ స్మిత్. దెన్ సువర్ణకార మీన్స్ గోల్డ్ స్మిత్. దెన్ తైల పిసక మీన్స్ oil monger. So the professionals were grouped into four sections like the four castes. So the first section consists of top officials like the Maharathis, Mahabhojas and the Mahasenapatis. The second section included the Amatyas, the officers and the Settis. The third section included the Halikas, cultivators and the Suvarnakaras, goldsmiths. The fourth included the vachikas, the carpenters, and kolikas, weavers, and the kamaras, blacksmiths. So people of the same profession, they grouped again themselves into shrenis or the guilds. People of same profession, they grouped themselves into the shrenis or the guilds. And then we talk about the position of the women. One of the outstanding features of the Shatavahana society was the high status that was accorded to the women. The royal ladies like Naganika and Balashri, they played a dominant role in the affairs of the state also. They played a dominant role in the affairs of the state. The Shatavahana kings, they took pride in associating their names with their mothers' names like Gautami Putra, Shatakarni, Vashishti Putra, Pulamavi, etc. So this does not indicate that the metronymic system existed in the society. Though the rulers followed Hinduism, the royal ladies and the women of affluent classes, women of high classes, affluent classes, they patronized Buddhism, and they gave liberal grants to the chaityas, that is Buddhist temples, and the viharas, that is the residential quarters of the Buddhist monks. They gave liberal grants, they did charity. Some women occupied high positions in the administration as the terms like Mahaboli, Maharathini. ఇప్పుడు ఇందాక మహారథి అన్నమా, మహారథిని, మహాసేనాధిపతిని, అండ్ Mahabhoja, so these were also written on the inscriptions. So in the paintings at Ajanta and in the sculptures of the Ellora and Amaravati, in the paintings of Ajanta paintings and Ellora sculptures and Amaravati sculptures, we come across different hairstyles that were in vogue in those times. Vogue and style. So this shows that women were very much conscious of their appearance, and they were very much interested in fashion. So they were also fond of ornaments, and they wore variety of jewels like earrings, necklaces, bangles, bracelets, and anklets. So they used to participate in entertainments like Madanotsava and Kaumudi Yagam, and Gatani Bandhana, which where both male and female were mingled freely. In short, the Shatavahana society was free and open and towards women, and it was not oppressive. Then, after this, we read about the family system. From Sinaya sir notes, the family system by and large, it was joint system. The family system by and large, it was a joint system. Still, Gada Saptasati talks about the joint families and the joint family land holdings in cultivation. It talks about joint families and the joint families land holdings in the cultivation. Due to economic prosperity, we find that people of that age led a life with diverse interests and hobbies. They led a life, economic prosperity, only they were all rich. So they led a life with diverse interests and hobbies. So Gada Saptasati describes the city life with wide, extensive pastimes. Gada Saptasati again, most of them was described by Gada Saptasati. And family system is described. So the Gada Saptasati describes the city life with wide, extensive pastimes and entertainments. We find clear difference between the rich and poor. The rich being in multi-storied buildings, and the poor being in huts, and poor being in the huts as per the Hala. So there was a clear difference between rich and poor. Rich being in multi-storied buildings and poor being in huts, according to Hala. There were many pastimes and entertainments and hobbies also were there. So according to Hala, people gave more importance for dresses and appearances. Gada Saptasati dress, they gave more importance to their dress and appearances. Gada Saptasati describes different types of hairstyles of the women, and even the paintings and the Ajanta Ellora caves, all those also show different they are shows different hairstyles of the women. In Gada Saptasati also describes different types of hairstyles of the women, and the decorative motifs used were including perfumes, and the decorative motifs they used included the perfumes also. So perfumes were a different hairstyles. Regarding the entertainments, Hala refers to group dancers and ballet songs were there. Group dances, ballet songs, animal fights were there, and festive gatherings were there. So for Hala, the high officials were always interested in playing cards అప్పుడు కూడా కార్డ్స్ ఉండేవా? గ్రూప్ డాన్సులు ఓకే, బ్యాలే సాంగ్స్ ఉండేవి, యానిమల్ ఫైట్స్, ఫెస్టివ్ గ్యాదరింగ్స్. దే were also very much interested in playing cards, the higher officials. The Gada Saptasati also talks about wide range of food habits and the habit of chewing pan after the meals. కిళ్ళి వేసుకోవడం అప్పట్లో ఉండేది, కార్డ్స్ ఆడడము ఎలైట్ పీపుల్ అప్పట్లో ఉండేది. సో వైడ్ రేంజ్ ఆఫ్ ఫుడ్ హ్యాబిట్స్, ఇట్ ఆల్సో టాక్స్ అబౌట్ వైడ్ రేంజ్ ఆఫ్ ఫుడ్, వాళ్ళ ఫుడ్ హ్యాబిట్స్ గురించి మాట్లాడుతుంది, అండ్ ది హ్యాబిట్ ఆఫ్ చూయింగ్ ద పాన్ ఆఫ్టర్ ది మీల్స్. With regard to the end rituals, generally the practice was cremation. With regarding the end rituals, generally the practice was cremation. However, we also find references to the megaliths. అంటే స్టోన్స్ పెట్టి దాన్ని స్టోన్స్తో కవర్ చేసి బాడీని అక్కడ పైన ఒక పెద్ద పెట్టడం అనమాట. ఇప్పుడు సమాధి అంటాం కదా, సమాధి దగ్గర స్టోన్ పెట్టడం. So we also find references to the megalith burials or stone burials. Megalith burials or stone burials, and regular practices and rituals ki it is cremation. So though women were given important place in the society, according to Hala, women were very often misused. That is the liberty and the women often misused the liberty. Let me read it again. Though women were given important place in the society, according to Hala, women very often they misused their liberty and they indulged in vices like consumption. Consumption of alcohol. The social evils like sati was widely prevalent. And according to Strabo, I think child marriages were not present. Even destitute women were turned into prostitutes, were choosing prostitution. Then the social evils like the sati was widely prevalent. There was no child marriages. According to Strabo, the Greeks were shocked to see the custom of sati being performed. According to Strabo, the Greeks were shocked to see the sati being performed. Then discuss the cultural contributions of the Shatavahanas. Cultural contributions. Now we saw societal contributions. Now it is cultural contributions of Shatavahanas. The Shatavahanas, who ruled for the longest period of 4 centuries, they laid strong foundations for the cultural efflorescence in the history of Andhras. They laid a strong foundation. The Shatavahanas, who ruled for the longest period of 4 centuries, they laid strong foundations for the cultural efflorescence in the history of Andhras. Remarkable progress was achieved during their age in all the spheres of cultural development, namely art and architecture, paintings, music and literature. So they had achieved cultural development in all the spheres, that is art and architecture, music, literature and paintings. With regarding the art, the Amaravati School of Culture was promoted by the Shatavahanas. Amaravati School of Culture was promoted by the Shatavahanas. It was popular as the most beautiful of the 3 sculptural traditions. It was popular as the most beautiful of 3 sculptural traditions, that is Gandhara art, Mathura art, the School of Art, and Amaravati School of Art. It is the most beautiful. It gave almost importance in depicting human feelings. As such, it was called a living art. It gave utmost importance in depicting the human feelings, that it was called a living art. With utmost precision, the Amaravati sculptors, they treated the subject reflecting a city life, dress and decorative practices of that time. The Amaravati sculptors, they treated the subject reflecting a city life, the dress and the decorative practices of that time as the most beautiful art form. It depicted the decorative elements like it depicted the decorative elements like flowers, creepers and signs like lotus. Flowers దాని creepers ఉండేవి, దానిపైన ఫ్లవర్స్, ఆ ఫ్లవర్స్లో లోటస్ సైన్స్ ఉండేవి. సో ఇట్ ఈస్ ది ఓన్లీ ఆర్ట్ which depicted all the important events in the life of Buddha. the Panchamaha Kalyana unnai kada, 5 important events in life of Buddha. This is the only art which depicted all the important events in the life of Buddha. Buddha is found as a teacher surrounding by yakshas and gandharvas dancing around. Buddha is found as a teacher in between, and the yakshas and the gandharvas are dancing around him. The costly white marbles used in the art made it further more beautiful. The costly white marbles that were used in this art made it further more beautiful. The importance given to the expressions of the feelings was so great that the Andhra Pradesh state government adopted Purna Kumbha as its emblem. Purna Kumbham as its emblem. The expression, the importance that was given to the expressions of the feelings, it was so great that Andhra Pradesh state government adopted the Purna Kumbha as its emblem. So with regard to paintings, the credit goes to, now we deal about paintings. We read about the architecture, that is art, the Amaravati School of Culture. Now we read about the paintings. The credit goes to, with regard to paintings, the credit goes to Shatavahanas for promoting the Ajanta Ellora cave painting tradition. Ajanta and Ellora cave painting tradition. Then the magnificent cave paintings are the world's oldest surviving painting. The magnificent cave paintings are the world's oldest surviving paintings. The painters exhibited remarkable skills depicting even the third and fourth effects, depicting the even third and fourth effects in their painting. Though predominantly Buddhist in subject or in theme, they do throw light on the contemporary society. Though their paintings, appadi painters, they exhibited remarkable skills, that is depicting even third and fourth paintings lo they depicted the 3D and 4D effects in the painting. The painters exhibited remarkable skills depicting even the 3D and 4D effects in the paintings. Though they predominantly the Buddhists in subject, the paintings were Buddhist in subject or the theme, they do throw light on the contemporary society also. Then with regard to the architecture, now we see about architecture. The early foundations were laid by the Shatavahanas. The Buddhist architectural forms, namely the stupas, the chaityas and the viharas, were extensively built during their times. These three Buddhist architecture were extensively built during their times. The Amaravati Stupa had the distinction of being the biggest stupa. Amaravati Stupa is the biggest stupa of the ancient times in the world. In architecturally they are super. And Nasik architecturally Sopara. Architecturally Sopara, Nasik and Kanheri and Ramatirtham Chaityas belong to their age. Architecturally, Sopara, Nasik, Kanheri and Ramatirtham Chaityas belonged to their age. Yajneshri Shatakarni, he constructed 1500 roomed Buddhist vihara at Nagarjuna Konda for Acharya Nagarjuna. Yajneshri Shatakarni has constructed a 1500. ఇప్పట్లో కూడా అన్ని రూమ్స్ అండ్ హోటల్స్ అన్నీ ఉండవేమో. 1500 roomed Buddhist vihara at Nagarjuna Konda for Acharya Nagarjuna. The Buddhist architecture later became the basis. It became the basis for the development of the temple architecture. Buddhist architecture later it became the basis for the development of the temple architecture. As a matter of fact, the earliest temples in India were built by Ikshvakus. The earliest temples in India were built by Ikshvakus, who were the feudatories of Shatavahanas. So in the field of literature, now we come to literature. Now before that we read few things about art and architecture from all in one. The contribution of the Shatavahanas to Indian art and architecture is immense. Okay, they were the innovators of the rock cut architecture. The number of chaityas and viharas were hewn out of a rock in many places. A number of chaityas and viharas were hewn out of a rock in many places like Nasik, Kanheri and Karle in western Deccan. Nasik, chaityas and viharas, Nasik, Kanheri and Karle in western Deccan. In Andhra, viharas and stupas, a monument built on the remains of Buddha or great teachers, were built in brick and marble in Amaravati, Jaggayapeta, Goli, Ghantasala, Nagarjunakonda and Battiprolu. మన ఆంధ్రాలో విహారాస్ అండ్ స్తూపాస్ ఎక్కడున్నాయి? అమరావతిలో ఉన్నాయి. జగ్గయ్యపేట, బట్టిప్రోలు, ఘంటసాల, నాగార్జునకొండ అండ్ గోలి అనే ప్లేసెస్లో ఉన్నాయన్నమాట స్తూపాస్ అండ్ విహారాస్, బుద్ధిస్ట్ విహారాస్. Okay, then according to the Megasthenes Indica, there were specific traditions in the architecture of the Andhras even before the Shatavahana period. Shatavahanas రాకముందే there were specific traditions in the architecture of the Andhras. Okay, but there were no proofs to support this theory. There were no proofs. The stupas built in Andhra during the Shatavahana rule were of different traditions. Stupas built in Andhra during Shatavahana rule were of different traditions when compared to their counterparts in the other places of India. Different traditions తో కట్టారా అంటే అమరావతి style of architecture. The sculptures of Amaravati and Jaggayapeta are unique and they are the best examples of the Shatavahana architecture. The sculptures of the Amaravati and Jaggayapeta are unique. Ajanta Ellorallo కూడా ఉన్నాయి. They are the best examples of Shatavahana architecture. Though the Shatavahana period, it encouraged the Buddhist architecture. The Satavahana period, it encouraged the Buddhist architecture. They also gave support to Hindu art also. A good example of this theory is the Shivalinga at Gudimallam. Shivalinga at the Gudimallam of Chittoor district, which is the oldest Shivalingam, and this temple is the one of the oldest temples of our Indian history, oldest Shiva temple in the history, and the Shivalingam is one of the oldest Shivalingam in the history of Indian history. So, Shivalinga at the Gudimallam of Chittoor district. The Shatavahanas encouraged paintings also. Historians believe that the paintings of black princesses at the Ajanta caves, that is 9 and 10, are of the Shatavahana period. The black princesses of the Ajanta caves are of Shatavahana period. Then Amaravati School of Art. Once again we talk about Amaravati School of Art. And at Amaravati, on the left bank of river Krishna, the largest Buddhist stupa of South India was constructed. At Amaravati, on the left bank of river Krishna, the largest Buddhist stupa in the South India was constructed. So its construction began in 200 BC and was completed in 200 AD. అంటే 400 years పట్టిందా స్తూప కట్టడానికి అమరావతి స్తూప. The diameter of the stupa at the base was radius and diameter. So it was 51 meters. Such a huge stupa. The diameter of the stupa at the base was 51 meters. The height of the dome was 31 meters and the outer railing is 15 meters wide. So they're so big. The outer railing is 15 meters wide anamata. So instead of brick and red stone, marble, very good quality white marble was used in its construction. The Amaravati Stupa, instead of brick and sandstone, they used marble for the construction of Amaravati Stupa. The inner stupa was richly engraved, depicting the incidents from the Buddha's life. The inner stupa, it is engraved, depicting the incidents from the Buddha's life. The stupa could not withstand the ravages of the time and its ruins are preserved in the London Museum. The stupa could not withstand the ravages of the time and its ruins are preserved in the London Museum. Then art critics all over the world, they praise the greatness of the Amaravati art. And they praise the greatness of the Amaravati art, a new canon of beauty and tranquility అని చెప్పారనమాట. It is a new canon of beauty and tranquility, and the aesthetic ideal of India were the epithets used in describing the grandeur of Amaravati. These were the epithets used in describing the grandeur of Amaravati. It is the aesthetic idol of India and a canon of beauty and tranquility. This kind of art is named after Amaravati, the capital of the later Shatavahanas. Now going back to Sina roots with regarding the literature. In the field of literature, the age has witnessed a remarkable growth. It has witnessed a remarkable growth in terms of both Sanskrit and Prakrit literary traditions. Remarkable growth in terms of both Sanskrit and Prakrit literary traditions. Though Prakrit was official language from the times of Kuntala Shatakarni, Sanskrit got Sanskrit also got patronage from the times of, though Prakrit was the official language from the times of Kuntala Shatakarni, even Sanskrit got patronage. So at the instance of Kuntala Sarvavarma, he wrote Katantra Vyakarana to teach Sanskrit to Kuntala Shatakarni. With regarding the Prakrit, regarding to Prakrit, Hala's Gada Saptasati was a remarkable literary feat. It was a remarkable literary feat. For the first time, it dealt with all the Navarasas. Gada Saptasati is very very important. It had dealt with for the first time it dealt with all the Navarasas, or the 9 forms of emotions, and hence for many it was the basis of the Indian literary tradition. Haluni Gada Saptasati, it is the basis for the Indian literary tradition. Then secondly, as a classic, okay, Gada Saptasati as a classic, it deals with the early Telugu words. It deals with early Telugu words like Addam, Atta, Potta అనే వర్డ్స్తో డీల్ చేస్తుంది అనమాట. అద్దం. Okay, so that is why our ancient Telugu is added to the classical languages. Okay, in the 8th schedule add చేస్తున్నారు under the classical languages because it is an ancient language which was developed కాబట్టి and which was used in around the 1st century 2nd century BC. ఆ టైంలో ఇంకా ముందు బీసీస్లో రాశాడు. హాలుడు బీసీస్లో ఉన్నాడు కాబట్టి బీసీస్లో రాశాడు ఆయన. సో అప్పుడే ఉండింది కాబట్టి అద్దం, పొట్ట, అత్త అనే వర్డ్స్ యూజ్ చేశాడు అనమాట. ఎర్లీ తెలుగు వర్డ్స్ వెర్ యూజ్డ్. ఇట్ ఈస్ అ క్లాసిక్. సో ఇన్ డ్యూ కేర్ వాస్ టేకన్ బై ద శాతవాహనాస్. Care was taken by the Shatavahanas for the development of the tribal dialects అంటే వాళ్ళ languages. Its care was taken by the Shatavahanas for the development of the tribal dialects like Paisachi and Gunadia, like Paisachi Prakrit, to development of tribal dialects like Paisachi Prakrit ఉంది కదా. Gunadia wrote Brihat Katha in Paisachi Prakrit. In Paisachi language, Paisachi Prakrit, that is Brahmi script, he wrote in Paisachi. Gunadia wrote Brihat Katha. Then Hala's marriage with Leelavati was the theme of Leelavati Parinayam. So these literary trends stand for not only with the growth of literature but also for the type of the literary trends developing in those age. But type of the literary trends, that it not only shows the growth of literature but the type of the different literary trends that were developing during that age. Thus the Gada Saptasati also talks about the development of the Brundagana, that is group Brundaganam అంటే అందరూ గ్రూప్గా కలిసి పాడడం. బృందగాన, ballet songs and group songs, group dances and ballet songs గురించి Gada Saptasati talks, indicating the development of the music and dance also, which indicates the development of music and dance during Satavahana period. Thus the Satavahanas, they made remarkable contribution for the cultural development in Andhra. The foundations made by them were further well developed by the succeeding dynasties, making the culture of the Andhras unique by itself. So what is written about language and literature in the all-in-one? So as I said, Gunadia, a minister of Kuntala Shatakarni, he composed Brihat Katha in Paisachi Prakrit. But as his king, Kuntala Shatakarni patronized only Sanskrit. So so he had asked to destroy his Brihat Katha. So it was only the remains were actually they became the basis for Katha Sarita Sagara. Um, then Sarvavarma wrote Katantra Vyakaranam, which made the learning of the Sanskrit easy. By the time of the later Shatavahanas, Sanskrit has attained the supremacy of over all the Deccan languages, and even the Shaka ruler Rudradaman has issued the inscriptions in Sanskrit. When Rudradaman has issued the inscriptions in Sanskrit, the Buddhists also preferred Sanskrit later. Okay, though Sanskrit replaced the Prakrit as the official language and became the language of the elite, the common people spoke in Desi language, which was the forerunner of the present day languages of the Deccan, like Telugu and Kannada. Normal people spoke Desi language, forerunner of the present day languages of Deccan, that is Telugu and Kannada. According to archaeologists, the coins of Satavahanas found recently, they were inscribed in Desi language, and it was very much near to today's Telugu. The religious conditions under the Shatavahanas. So during the Shatavahana age, Buddhism, Jainism and Brahmanism could flourish in Andhra Desha. Buddhism, all the three languages of that time, religions of that time flourished in Andhra Desha. So as rulers, the Shatavahana kings, they followed Brahmanism, whereas the queens patronized Buddhism and Jainism also. Then in Brahmanism, the popular sects were Shaivism and Vaishnavism, and they made their appearance. In Brahmanism, popular sects of Shaivism and Vaishnavism, they made their appearance. The oldest Shivalinga in the Indian history was found at Gudimallam near Renigunta, datable to 56 AD. 56 AD belonged to the Shatavahana period. The oldest Shivalingam and the oldest temple in the Indian history, Gudimallam near Renigunta, was datable to 56 AD. It belonged to Shatavahana period. As a matter of fact, Hala's Gada Saptasati starts with the prayer to Lord Shiva. Gada Saptasati, it starts with the prayer to Lord Shiva, and it ends with a prayer to Parvati Devi. Starting prayer Lord Shiva, it ends with the prayer to Parvati Devi. Vaishnavism entered Andhra Desha in the form of Bhagavatism. Vaishnavism entered Andhra Desha in the form of Bhagavatism. The second king of the dynasty, that is Krishna, he followed Bhagavatism. The Krishna or Kanha, he followed Bhagavatism. Then Gautami Balashri, equating her son Gautami Putra Shatakarni with Sri Rama and Keshava, indicates the popularity of Vaishnavism. Gautami Putra Balashri, in her Nasik inscription, she equates her son Gautami Putra Shatakarni to Sri Ramudu and Krishna. Kesava indicates the popularity of Vaishnavism at that time. So in the stone slabs of Shatavahana period, Lord Vishnu was depicted and he was being worshipped. Lord Vishnu was depicted and he was being worshipped. Then the Puranic tradition of worshipping the legendary heroes Krishna and Rama also started. The Puranic traditions of worshipping the legendary heroes of Krishna and Rama has also started. And in the same Gautami Shatakarni, Ramudu Krishnurtho మన మదర్ కంపేర్ చేశారు. The Gada Saptasati refers to the worshipping of Ganesha, Surya and Shakti. ఈ గాథా సప్తసతిలోనే మొత్తం చెప్పేస్తున్నారు. గాథా సప్తసతిలో లార్డ్ శివ ప్రేయర్తో స్టార్ట్ చేస్తారు, పార్వతీదేవి ప్రేయర్తో ఎండ్ చేస్తారు. దెన్ ఇన్ గాథా సప్తసతి ఇట్ రెఫర్స్ టు వర్షిపింగ్ గణేష, పార్వతీదేవి, దట్ శక్తి, గణేష, శక్తి అండ్ సూర్యదేవ. దెన్ the practice of visiting the pilgrim centers started for the first time during this age. Practice of visiting the pilgrim centers, it started for the first time during this age, and according to Nanigat and Nasik inscriptions of Naganika and Balashri and Ananda, pilgrimages started as a standard practice. According to these inscriptions, the pilgrimages, they started as a standard practice. అంటే స్టాండర్డ్గా ఫాలో అవుతున్నారు పిల్గ్రిమేజెస్ ఎప్పుడు స్టాండర్డ్గా. Though the Vedic religion with its caste system was not well established, the Vedic rituals were followed. So the Vedic religion with its caste system was not established. The Vedic rituals were followed. The inscriptions reveal Shatakarni I and Gautamiputra performing the Ashwamedha Yaga and Rajasuya Yagas. Both Gautamiputra and Shatakarni I, they performed the Ashwamedha and Rajasuya Yagas. The inscriptions follow. Along with the Brahmanism, Buddhism and Jainism also were well expanded. Then particularly, Buddhism remained as a major popular tradition for a long time. Religion for a long time, Buddhism. Mahadeva Bhikshu was the first great Buddhist monk in Andhra Desha, and he introduced a form of Buddhism called Chaityakavada, means worshipping Buddha in the form of signs. Then Mahadeva Bhikshu or Mahabhikshu Mahadeva Bhikshu was the first great Buddhist monk in Andhra Desha, and he introduced a form of Buddhism called as Chaityakavada, worshipping Buddha in the form of symbols. Symbols are the signs in the form of signs. The main centers for the expansion for Buddhism were Nagarjuna Konda, Amaravati, Jaggayapeta, Mangalagiri and Srikakulam. Buddhism were the main places of expansion of Buddhism were Nagarjuna Konda, Mangalagiri, Amaravati, Jaggayapeta and Srikakulam. Then the greatest Buddhist philosopher, Acharya Nagarjuna, Madhyamika philosopher of Acharya Nagarjuna, was a close friend of Yagneshri Shatakarni, and he constructed Mahavira for the sake of Nagarjuna at Mahavihara for the sake of Nagarjuna at Nagarjuna Konda. Then with regard to Jainism, Konda Kundana Acharya, he was the first popular Jain monk. Konda Kundana Acharya was the first popular Jain monk. Then he founded the Jaina order called Saraswati Gacham. He founded the Jaina order. Evaru Konda Kundana Acharya. Konda Kundana Acharya was the first Jain monk. He founded the Jaina order called Saraswati Gacham at Konakandla in Anantapur district. Then Jainism flourished with Danavulapadu. Jainism flourished in Danavulapadu and Ramatirtham as its main centers. Jainism ekkada flourish ayindi? Danavulapadu and Ramatirtham as its main centers. Thus, all the three popular religions flourished in Andhra Desha, and each one in turn contributed for cultural development in its own way. Then credit goes to Shatavahanas for maintaining the religious harmony and peaceful coexistence of the faiths during their times. The credit goes to Shatavahanas for maintaining the religious harmony and peaceful coexistence of all the faiths during their times. Then religious conditions from the all-in-one. The religious setup of this age centers around the triumph of the Aryan creeds over the native primitive forms of worships and rituals. That is, during the Mauryan period, the religions of the north like Vaidika faith, Buddhism and Jainism made roads into the Deccan. The first Shatavahana ruler, Simukha, he was reputed to be a Jaina during his early years of the rule, but he changed his faith to later Vedic religion later on. First Simukha, he was a Jain, then he changed into Vedic religion. Then Shatakarni I, he was Hindu, he followed Hinduism. Then he performed 2 Ashwamedha Yagas and Rajasuya Yagas and other 20 sacrifices like Aptormaya and Agneya Dheya Aptormaya. And Naganika also, she followed Vedic faith. The royal couple named their son Vedashri. They named their son as Vedashri. So among the royal other Shatavahanas, Gautamiputra Shatakarni fully identified himself as a defender of the Vedic faith. He was followed Hinduism and tried to prevent the Varna Sankarana. Then the Shatavahana rulers, they patronized Buddhism also. Then Acharya Nagarjuna of the Buddhist faith, he lived at the court of Gautamiputra Yagneshri Shatakarni, and the Queens of Shatavahana rulers, especially they patronized Buddhism. Queens patronized Buddhism. The Jaina religion did not receive much following from the Shatavahanas, but some of the kingdoms on the borders of the kingdom like Kalinga and the Malwa and Mysore were flourishing. Malwa, Kalinga and Mysore were flourishing centers of Jainism. ఇక్కడ వచ్చేసి ఆంధ్రాలో వచ్చేసి దేవులపాడు, దానవులపాడు అండ్ రామతీర్థం were Jaina centers. Now we read about the last one, that is economic conditions under the Shatavahanas. Economic conditions. The Shatavahanas were the first to introduce the land grant system in the South India. Land grant system in the South India. There were many first because they were one of the first dynasties who ruled for a long time. సో ఫస్ట్ వాళ్ళు ఆర్ట్ అండ్ ఆర్కిటెక్చర్ పేట్రనైజ్ చేశారు. ఫస్ట్ పెయింటింగ్స్, ఫస్ట్ శివలింగమ్స్ అన్నీ ఫస్ట్ అనమాట. ఫస్ట్ లిటరరీ వర్క్స్, ఫస్ట్ డ్రామాస్. సో శాతవాహనాస్ were the first to introduce the land grants system in the South India. So with this system, more land was brought under cultivation and expansion of the agrarian economy took place. More land, because of this system, land grants ఇవ్వడం వల్ల వేరే పీపుల్కి more land was brought under the cultivation and expansion of the agrarian economy took place. It was during this age the palm leaves and the coconut was cultivated for the first time. And it was during this age land grants was for the first time. It was at the Shatavahana age, that is palm leaves and coconuts were cultivated for the first time. Then Shatavahanas were the first to apply technology in the agricultural production. They applied technology in the agricultural production. What are they? To till the soil, a machine called Udaka yantra was introduced. To till the soil, a machine called Udaka yantra was introduced. To sort out the cotton seeds from the raw cotton, a machine called Girika. A machine called Girika was introduced by Rakasi Lottai. Rakasi Lottai అనే అతను he introduced a machine to sort out the cotton seeds from the raw cotton. A machine called Girika was introduced by Rakasi Lottai. Udaka yantra. So similarly, for the lift irrigation, an hydraulic engine called Ghati yantra was introduced. Similar for the lift irrigation, and hydraulic machine, and hydraulic engine called Ghati yantra was introduced. So as a result, agriculture production had increased phenomenally. Agricultural production increased phenomenally. With regarding trade and commerce, the Shatavahanas were the pioneers in the maritime trade. Maritime ante naval. They were pioneers in the maritime trade in the history of the Andhras. In the history of the maritime trade, in the history of the Andhras, they were pioneers. So the trade was maximum with Rome in the western coast. The trade was maximum with Rome. In the west coast, the ports were Broch, that is Baru Kacha. Broch was Baru Kacha, and Soparaka, that is Kalyan. Broch and Soparaka, that is Kalyan on the west coast, and Vaijayantipura, Rome in the west. Vaijayantipura were major seaports. Broch, Vaijayantipura, Soparaka were the major seaports. For on the west, for the maximum trade was with Rome. That is west side on the major ports. Vaijayantipura, Broch, that is Baru Kacha, and Soparaka was Kalyan. For the extensive trade, the Shatavahanas facilitated by introducing a new currency system with coins, that is gold, silver and potin. Potin ante mixed metal coins అని అర్థం. Potin coins ante mixed metal coins అంటే alloy అని అర్థం. So for the extensive trade ఏం చేశారంటే they introduced a new currency system with the gold coins, silver coins and potin coins. The ship mast found on the coin, the ship with the mast found on the coin suggests the flourishing foreign trade. It suggested the flourishing foreign trade on the maritime trade. Due to the extensive trade, merchants associations or guilds called Shrenis were formed extensively. Due to the extensive trade, merchant associations or the guilds called Shrenis were formed extensively, and Sartabahus were the mobile merchants, and Adyantrikas were the guild which manufactured the hydraulic engines called Gati Yantras. వాళ్ళ పేర్లు ఏంటి? మొబైల్ మర్చెంట్స్. ఎవరు మొబైల్ మర్చెంట్స్ వచ్చి సార్తబాహుస్ వేర్ మొబైల్ మర్చెంట్స్. అండ్ అద్యంత్రిక యంత్రం కదా, అద్భుత యంత్రం లాగా యంత్రికాస్ వేర్ ద గిల్డ్స్ హూ మ్యానుఫ్యాక్చర్డ్ the hydraulic engines called Gati Yantra Adyantrikas. Then extensive trade and commerce led to the formation of different professions. Extensive trade and commerce వల్ల different professions had formed అనమాట. It led to the formation of different professions. The blacksmiths were called as Kamaras. The goldsmiths were called as Suvarnas, and the weavers were called as Kolikas, and oil swindlers were called as Taila Pisikas. Taila Pisikas were called Taila Pisika was oil swindlers. So the well expanded agricultural and non-agricultural economies made the well expanded agricultural and non-agricultural economies made Shatavahana state a prosperous state. It made Shatavahana state a prosperous state. With the prosperity, they could maintain well expanded administration, and they could carry out their wars in defending the country and expanding the territories. So ప్రాస్పెరిటీతో ఏమేమి సాధించారు? వెల్ ఎక్స్పాండెడ్ అడ్మినిస్ట్రేషన్ ఆఫ్ ద పీపుల్, దెన్ దే కుడ్ క్యారీ అవుట్ ద వార్స్ ఫర్ డిఫెండింగ్ ద country, and they could expand their territories. So then now we read about economic conditions from the all-in-one. So economic conditions: Deccan, the main seat of Shatavahana power, is watered by two mighty rivers of South India. It is watered by two mighty rivers of South India, that is Godavari and Krishna. So these two rivers made the agricultural mainstay. These two rivers made the agricultural mainstay of Shatavahana economy. Okay, agriculture help చేస్తాయి two rivers. The rivers, besides sustaining the agriculture, they became the main channels of trade and communication. The rivers, besides sustaining the agriculture, they became the main channels of trade and communication. Realizing the importance of these rivers, the Shatavahanas, they located their early capital at Pratishtanapura on the left bank of river Godavari in the river Aurangabad district of Maharashtra. The later capital, which rivaled the greatness of the Indra's court, the later capital Amaravati, which rivaled the greatness of Lord Indra's court, was aptly named as Amravati. It is located on the left bank of Krishna river. Pratishtanapura is on left bank of Godavari. Amaravati is on the left bank of river Krishna, Guntur district, AP. The literary works like Gatha Saptasati gives the impression that the villages were prosperous and they grew a variety of crops like paddy, gingerly and sugarcane. They even had the knowledge of the transplantation of the paddy, and they grew paddy, gingerly అంటే తిల్ అనమాట, నువ్వులు, sesame and sugarcane. So Eastern Deccan, that is Telangana, was covered by alluvial soil and was Telangana and Andhra Pradesh kuda. It was covered by alluvial soil and it was agriculturally more advanced and it was densely populated. Then besides agriculture, the Shatavahanas also developed both internal and maritime trade. They developed both internal and maritime trade. The figure of the ship found on the coins of Pulamavi and Yagneshri, they testify the fact of their maritime activity. A large number of Roman coins were found in the Krishna Valley, strengthens the above fact. Okay, the periplus of Erythraean Sea, it mentions a number of ports on the western and the eastern Andhra coast. The important western ports were Sopar, Kalyana, Barigaza and Barukacha, that is Broch. Barukacha, Berigaza, Kalyana, and Sopar were the western ports. The most important market towns of Andhra were Ghantasala, uh, Koduru, uh, Korinka near Kakinada. Korinka. These all were mentioned in the Periplus of Erythraean Sea. దానికి పేర్లు కొంక కోస్యాల కొడ్డూర ఆలోచించమంది బట్ యాక్చువల్ ద ఇంపార్టెంట్ మార్కెట్ టౌన్స్ ఆఫ్ ఆంధ్ర వేర్ ఘంటసాల కోడూరు కోరింక నియర్ కాకినాడ కోడూరు అండ్ ఘంటసాల. Okay, a large number of Roman coins were found in Krishna Valley. Strengthens that maritime trade was very much strong. The inland market towns of Telangana were Kotilingalu. Inland market towns of Telangana were Kotilingalu, which is situated at a confluence of Peddavagu and Godavari river in Peddapalli mandal of today's Karimnagar district. And Kotilingalu, which is in Karimnagar district, it is in the confluence of the Godavari river and Peddavagu near Peddapalli mandal. Then Peddabankuru near Peddapalli, this is also near Peddapalli, and Dhulikota near Yeligandla. Dhulikota is important. Peddabankuru, Dhulikota and Kotilingalu are also important inland market towns. So it was one of the 30 walled towns, 30 walled towns అనమాట. ప్లీనీ ఇన్ హిస్ ప్లీనీ ఉంది కదా న్యాచురల్ హిస్టరీ బై ప్లీనీ, హీ ఇన్ఫార్మ్స్ దట్ ఆంధ్ర కంట్రీ ఇన్ ద ఈస్టర్న్ డెక్కన్ హ్యాడ్ 30 walled towns బిసైడ్స్ న్యూమరస్ విలేజెస్ ఉన్నాయి. టౌన్సే 30 టౌన్లు ఉన్నాయంట. 45 అయిన టౌన్స్, దట్ ఈస్ వాల్డ్ టౌన్సే 30 టౌన్స్ ఉన్నాయని చెప్తున్నారు. అండ్ it is noted by Pliny. Other market towns of the eastern Deccan included Kondapur in the Medak district of Telangana, Vijayapuri, that is in Nalgonda district of Telangana, and Battiprolu in Guntur district. Kondapur, Medak district, Vijayapuri in Nalgonda district, and Battiprolu, Guntur district. Kondapur, Vijayapuri, Battiprolu. Then the important market towns of western Deccan were Pratishtanapuram, Nasik, Govardhana, Vaijayanti, Jannar and Tagara, important market towns in the western Deccan. Then many of these towns were located on the banks of the rivers. Loని most of these important towns are present, so that the traders and travelers covered the distances by the boats. Because the traders and travelers from other places, they could cover the distances by boats. The highway running from the north to south and west were also used by the traders. ఇందాక చెప్పాం కదా దక్షిణ పథ అని చెప్పి ఇంకొక పేరు నాకు గుర్తు రావట్లేదు. 2 highways ఉండేవి, ఫ్రమ్ ఉజ్జయిని టు కన్యాకుమారి, ఫ్రమ్ తక్షశిలా టు కన్యాకుమారి. సో దే వర్ యూజింగ్ ఆల్ దీస్ highways were also used by the from north to south and west were also used by traders. So as these highways were infested with robbers and wild animals, merchants moved in caravans. మర్చెంట్స్ ఎందుకు క్యారవాన్స్లో మూవ్ అయ్యారంటే హైవేస్ పైన రాబర్స్ అండ్ వైల్డ్ యానిమల్స్ ఉండేవి కాబట్టి దే మూవ్డ్ ఇన్ క్యారవాన్స్. ద శ్రేణీస్ ఆర్ ద ట్రేడ్ గిల్డ్స్ విచ్ యాక్టెడ్ as the bankers facilitated the development of the trade. The Shrenis or the trader guilds, they acted as the bankers could ఉండేవాళ్ళు. They facilitated the development of the trade. The main types of export to Rome, to Persia and other countries included textiles, silk and gems, precious gems, ivory, because we had lot of elephants, gems from Karnataka, textiles, silks from Mysore, textiles also cotton, textiles, silks, precious gems, ivory, pepper and high quality steel, because iron also was there. The Shatavahanas, they also mined the iron ores from Karimnagar and Warangal, because from that they used to make high quality steel which were produced at Konasamudram and Yeligandla. అదే అంటుంది ఎలిగండ్ల, ధూళికోట, ఇవి అదే కరీంనగర్ అండ్ వరంగల్. మెయిన్ వచ్చి కరీంనగర్, అంటే మెయిన్ వాటి డిస్ట్రిక్ట్స్ వచ్చి కరీంనగర్ అండ్ వరంగల్. సో విచ్ వర్ ప్రొడ్యూస్డ్ ఇన్ ఎలిగండ్ల అండ్ కోనసముద్రం అండ్ ఎలిగండ్లలో విచ్ వర్ ఐరన్ దొరికేది. సో అక్కడి నుంచి ద ప్రొడ్యూస్ స్టీల్. వాట్ వర్ ద ఇంపోర్ట్స్ టు శాతవాహనాస్? ద ఇంపోర్ట్స్ వర్ కాపర్, వైన్, gold, silver, wild gold, silver mostly, and copper were the imports, because copper coins చేసేవాళ్ళు, gold coins, ornaments, silver ornaments and coins. Then wine the kings used to drink. As a result of brisk trade, a rich class of merchants known as the settis, they came into existence and they dominated the society. Because of the result of the rich flourishing trade, a rich class of merchants called as settis, they came into existence and they dominated the society. These settis, they patronized the Buddhism and they gave donations for the constructions of the chaityas and viharas. Then it is interesting to note that in the inscriptions of the caves of Western India, the donations given by merchants have been given more importance than those of the kings and the royal family members, because they gave lot of donations. Kabatti the inscriptions given by the merchants and shetties um, on the caves, ఎక్కడ అవి ఇన్స్క్రిప్షన్స్ ఎక్కడ ఉన్నాయి, caves of the western India, they got the donations given by the merchants have been given more importance, okay, than the kings and royal members. The Shatavahana empire could sustain itself for 5 centuries in spite of the repeated attacks from its enemies due to its economical strength. ఎందుకు ఇంత ఉండిందంటే అది లాస్ట్లో చదివాం కదా, బికాస్ ఆఫ్ ద అడ్మినిస్ట్రేషన్, డబ్బులు ఉన్నాయి కాబట్టి వాళ్ళని దే కుడ్ వేజ్ వార్ అండ్ దే కుడ్ సస్టైన్, బికాస్ ఆఫ్ ది ఎకనామిక్ ప్రాస్పెరిటీ దే కుడ్ సస్టైన్ రిపీటెడ్ అటాక్స్ ఫ్రమ్ ఇట్స్ ఎనిమీస్ అండ్ డ్యూ టు ఇట్స్ ఎకనామిక్ స్ట్రెంగ్త్ రిజల్టింగ్ మెయిన్లీ ఫ్రమ్ ఇట్స్ ఫారిన్ ట్రేడ్. ఎకనామిక్ స్ట్రెంగ్త్ అక్కడ అగ్రికల్చర్లో వచ్చేది, వాళ్ళకి మైనింగ్ ఉండేది, ఎక్స్పోర్ట్స్ ఉండేవి, అండ్ ఫారిన్ ట్రేడ్ resulting mainly in the foreign trade, economic strength వచ్చింది. This is Shatavahana rule extending over 5 centuries from 3rd century BC to 3rd century AD. It constitutes one of the glorious epochs of ancient Indian history. It constitutes one of the glorious epochs of ancient Indian history. The history of India before the advent of the Shatavahanas was mainly the history of North India. Okay, the Shatavahanas, they controlled the land between the Narmada in the north to Tungabhadra in the south, from Bay of Bengal in the east to Arabian in the west. Narmada in the north, then Tungabhadra in the south, east వచ్చి Arabian Sea, west వచ్చి Deccan, east వచ్చి Bay of Bengal, west వచ్చి Arabian Sea, and west gave the Deccan a political individuality. It gave a political individuality and blessed the area with peace and tranquility and peace and prosperity at a time when North India was rocked by several political disturbances caused by the foreign invasions and the dynastic battles. So the Shatavahana empire at its zenith included not only today's Andhra Pradesh but also parts of Maharashtra, Gujarat, Tamil Nadu, Karnataka, Madhya Pradesh, Odisha, Bihar. In extent, it ranked second only to the Mauryan Empire. Then what about the coins of Mauryans? The coins were struck by trade unions till the Mauryan era. Mauryan era వరకు ఏమైందంటే the coins అనేది it was struck by the only the trade unions or శ్రేణీస్ or guilds ఉన్నాయి కదా, those trade unions వాళ్ళు స్ట్రక్ చేసేవాళ్ళు till the Mauryan era. These coins were called as punch marked coins. అందుకే అక్కడ ట్రేడ్ యూనియన్స్ అండ్ గిల్డ్స్తో పాటు చెప్పారు, బికాస్ దోస్ ట్రేడ్ యూనియన్స్ దే issued or they struck the coins అనమాట. These coins were called as punch marked coins. But after Mauryans, the authority of the struck of the coins went to the hands of the king and his dynasty from the trade unions. The first coins with the names of the kings of Ranogobhadra, Ranosa Magopa yield they yield in the excavations of Karimnagar district of Telangana. The first coins with the names of Ranogobhadra, Rano Samagopa, they were found in the excavations at Karimnagar district. Then Shatavahana struck coins in metals like copper, tin and lead and silver. They struck lead coins mostly, that is 14 coins, that is made of alloys. They struck lead coins mostly. The silver coins of this age were called as Karshapanas, and the gold coins were called as Suvarnas. Silver were called as Karshapanas and gold were called as Suvarnas. One inscription of the Rishabhadatta one inscription of Rishabhadatta, it reveals that 1 Suvarna is equal to 35 Karshapanas. The Shatavahanas, they predicate in Prakrit language and Brahmi script on their coins. And Sivastri, I think he issued coins in bilingual. Deshi script and Prakrit script. On the coins of Shatavahanas, the pictures of Chaityas, the symbol of Ujjain, ox, horse, elephant, lion, bow, etc. Were struck, and ship pictures which depicted on the coins of Yagneshri and Pulamavi, they indicate foreign trade of the Shatavahanas. Then Shrenis or guilds, professional associations. Then stimulated by the growth of agriculture and industry, Telugu region carried out a profitable internal and external trade under the Shatavahanas. They carried out a profitable internal and external trade under Shatavahanas because of the growth of agriculture and industry. The primary and secondary sectors are the production of utensils and implements by different classes of people, utensils అదే సిల్వర్ ఎక్స్పోర్ట్ చేసే వాళ్ళని చూసాము. ఇన్ ద హై క్వాలిటీ స్టీల్ సో ద ప్రొడక్షన్ ఆఫ్ యుటెన్సిల్స్ in those metals and implements by different classes of people were done. The people of the same profession were grouped themselves into Shrenis or guilds under the leadership of Sreshti. The head of the Shreni was Sreshti. The Shreni regulated the activities of its members and it looked after their welfare. It regulated or it controlled the activities of its members, and it looked after their welfare. One interesting feature of the Shrenis was the banking facilities they provided. Feature of the Shreni was the banking facilities they provided. Even now NABARD, that's what it does, farmer producer organizations ki వాళ్ళకి ఇస్తుంది. They are kind of Shrenis అన్నమాట. So they received cash deposits and permanent endowments and undertook acts of social service like the distribution of the clothes to merchants with the interest ranging between 9 to 12%. They received cash deposits. అంటే వాళ్ళ బ్యాంక్ లాగా క్యాష్ యూ కెన్ డిపాజిట్ విత్ ద శ్రేణీస్ అండ్ పర్మనెంట్ ఎండోమెంట్స్ చేసుకోవచ్చు. అండ్ దే అండర్టుక్ యాక్ట్స్ ఆఫ్ సోషల్ సర్వీస్ లైక్ డిస్ట్రిబ్యూషన్ ఆఫ్ క్లోత్స్ టు ద మర్చెంట్స్. సోషల్ సర్వీస్ అంటే డిస్ట్రిబ్యూషన్ ఆఫ్ క్లోత్స్ టు మర్చెంట్స్. And they gave loans with the interest ranging from 9 to 12%, and the profit was used for the welfare of the people. The Shreni wended a great influence with the state, and the Shreni Dharma had the recognition of the law. They had a great influence on the state, the Shrenis, and the Shreni Dharma, it had the influence of the law. They had the influence of law. Influence kada, recognition. లాగా కింగ్ యొక్క లాలో రికగ్నైజ్ చేశారు శ్రేణి ధర్మాన్ని.